recorded.
Hey guys, welcome to the first look edition of the Driveway Liberty podcast. We're doing it via Zoom this week, man, because we just tired of seeing each other face to face, I guess. But I'm sitting here with my good friends, Travis and Dan. Dan is below me, the way I'm viewing the screen. It may be different for you. But Dan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Excited for tonight. Dolphins playing the Steelers. Tua's back. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess we will. Got
my Dolphin cup, my shirt, my hat, my ring.
You're on camera, man. We can see all of that. So over to my right, if you're viewing this the way I'm viewing it, we'll see. It's Travis Horn, our other co-host and co-founder of the Driveway Liberty Media Company. What's up, Trav?
Well, nothing. Just got a bunch of yard work done today, and just living a dream.
I got you. Yeah. After yesterday and then today, I'm a little exhausted. So
you were a little happy last night, Wes.
Dude, I was in a great mood, man. I was just sitting there chilling, and for those of you that weren't there, we did a little bonfire on the beach for a buddy of mine's or a buddy of ours' birthday, and my birthday's coming up, so they tossed my name in as a credit. And man, I just sat there watching everybody else talk. I mean, I had so many beverages before I got there and was just super chill. And of course, I engaged a little bit, but I had a good time just hanging out. So anyway, so what do we got on slate coming up this week, man?
All right, first thing we got to talk about, a change in schedule. And it's only change in schedule because the greatest governor in the history of the United States is coming and personally invited the three of us. So our live stream this week will be Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 5:30 Pacific. Not Wednesday, Tuesday, 7:30 Central, 5:30 Pacific.
Yes.
And then Wednesday, we'll be going to see greatest governor in American history at the Horsepower Pavilion.
At the Horsepower Pavilion, yep.
Which I find quite humorous.
So do you think they're going to have it at the actual pavilion, or you think they're going to put up tents and fences and all that stuff? How many people they expecting, do you think?
Dude, they can fit about 500 people in that place. So why would they put it anywhere else?
I know they got all that land, but you can fit 500 people under that overhang there.
Yeah, man. I mean, they've got, when I went out for that sales tax forum that they had last week or week before, man, I can't keep up. They actually had chairs outside of the pavilion itself. And they've got beach umbrella or bistro tables up on the little deck over there where the bistro is going. So man, they're ready.
Cool.
Yep.
So Tuesday night, 7:30.
Yep.
And so schedule's a little bit off this week, but we'll get back to regular schedule next week.
Right. Absolutely. But we're also on Thursday going to an event with the America First Congressman, Mr. Matt Gaetz, and that will be recorded. And we hope to have that out in audio on Friday. So you get a little bonus content this week. You definitely need to go ahead and like and share. And if you're seeing this right now tonight on Sunday, you are a Patreon supporter. So any way you can help us spread the word. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page and our Rumble page and all of our socials, we sure would appreciate it. If you're not ashamed of us, share it with your friends. So if y'all, I think you've got a video for this, Trav, but the Democrats are actually getting on board with this whole Biden's incompetent thing. MSNBC actually shared an article from his thing the other day, his interview, and we've got it right here.
My intention I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh,
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that I that we're doing something very important. That formal decision, but it's my intention. My intent.
All right.
He's not doing so hot, man. They need to put that dude out to pasture.
Okay. I'm not really one to criticize. So I don't fall asleep mid-sentence. Just
Right.
so we're clear, most of the time.
Oh no, wait. To be fair, you have in fact fallen asleep mid-sentence, but it was been like at 1 o'clock in the morning after being about knee deep.
Yeah.
He has.
I have personally witnessed that on more than one occasion. So just
But I'm
throwing
also
that
not
out
the
there.
president of the United
But
States.
it's not with your eyes open, though.
Yeah, you are
Right.
not the president of the United States. It's not in normal daytime hours. And
Right.
You are not doing an interview on MSN.
Right.
So
Typically, when you see that, there's been copious amounts of alcohol that I've consumed.
right. And
I'm doing an interview with gigantically bright lights right in my face.
Yeah. Well, I did also mention that. So, that was in fact the case. So Dan,
Joe. So it looks like Trump's going to run. He's basically alluded to it. He's all but said it. And then the former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he was going to run regardless of whether Trump does or not. So it'll be interesting. The field will fill up pretty quick in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we see the red tsunami, the bigger the red tsunami is on November 8th, like November 9th, you see people starting to announce, and it'll be a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully you'll have somebody in there who's and the Republicans who take over the House and the Senate actually do something. And then those first 2 years, we could actually get some stuff done. 24 to 20 or 25 to 27 we could get some stuff done. We do some of this insanity and get some things accomplished.
And what's funny to me is Mitch McConnell and a super PAC that he's associated with had pulled $8 million out of the Arizona Senate race, Blake Masters, who's up 1 or 2 points, but had previously, before the primaries, before Blake Masters won, had agreed to spend $8 million on ads for the Republican candidate. Blake Masters won and they pulled it. And that happened recently, this past week, with the candidate in New Hampshire, whose name escapes me, but also very America First wing, actually want to go do something. And it was $5 million worth of ad spend in New Hampshire on another close race that would be a pickup, which doesn't make sense, right? If you are a Republican and you should want control of the Senate with quite possibly one of the worst presidents in history that falls asleep mid-interview, shouldn't you want to just spend all this money to be sure you have control?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I think Mitch McConnell wants control, but he wants the establishment people. He doesn't want people like a Blake Masters. He doesn't want people like JD Vance. He doesn't want all these people that are actually going to demand something happen, and they do something besides just be the duopoly. And that's why he's pulling the money.
Yeah,
the establishment wing of the Republican Party. Yeah, the establishment wing of the Republican Party is doing everything they can to hold on to one little last grasp of power they think they have.
Yeah, and that's really a shame. I mean, because we need change. We need wrecking balls, like we always say on the show. We need them to go out and somebody that's actually going to make a positive difference instead of just going along for the investment opportunities.
Well, it just goes to show you we're fighting a war on two fronts. We're fighting against the radical left. We're also fighting against the establishment right, if you want to call them right. They're more like rhinos, but and that's why we haven't been able to really get anything done. Why Trump struggled to get anything other than the tax bill passed his first 2 years in office, because the rhinos are in control. And when the head rhino is in the head seat pulling money, like you just said, Travis, that just shows you what their intentions are, because they're afraid of these America First candidates. Take Trump out of it.
Right.
He's afraid of those America First because they'll lose control of their power pretty quickly if they get a pretty large chunk of that type of group in Congress.
Well, and I mean, at some point, you could get enough people to get a movement to oust McConnell as leader.
Oh yeah,
I think that's his probably biggest fear more than anything. And this was from Interactive Polls that came out yesterday, and it was the Real Clear Politics Senate forecast. It had 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. So that's a pickup of 3 for the Republicans there. And the pickups are Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia. You know, in Arizona, it seems like Blake Masters may win despite of Mitch McConnell. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, we've kind of poked fun at Herschel Walker a little bit. He did pretty good in that debate. There was some audio, and I'll try to get it pulled up. But, yeah, there was some audio from that debate where he did a really good job of hitting back against Warnock.
Yeah, he did. And not only that, but I saw an ad today, and it's his final ad leading in. And you know what? I've said a couple of times that Herschel is a demigod. I mean, in the state of Georgia. Well, the only person who is more saintly in the eyes of the majority of Georgians is Vince Dooley. And this ad I saw today or this morning when I was drinking my coffee was Vince Dooley giving probably the best endorsement I've ever seen anybody give any candidate. It's like a 1.5, 2 minute long video. And I'll see if I can find that for later. That maybe we'll discuss Tuesday evening. But man, it was powerful. And I'm not even a Georgia fan, but you got to respect Vince Dooley because college he went to. But I mean, it was a powerful, genuinely felt endorsement, and that's the nail in the coffin. I think Tho shared that on Facebook if y'all haven't seen it yet, but it's
All right.
It's amazing.
So I meant to play this, but we didn't have audio in our live stream on Wednesday, but I wanted to play this. So
that's right.
So let me ask you, can you name one thing that President Biden has done that you support?
One thing that he's done that I support. He eat a lot of ice cream. That's right.
So let me ask
Eat a lot of ice cream. I can support
on point right there. I agree with him. I support him.
Yeah, it kind of be hard for that not to be a bipartisan agreement right there. Sorry, my shoulder's killing me.
I'm not a big ice cream fan.
Really?
I don't dislike it, but like maybe twice a year I have ice cream.
Well, I've gotten a little. I won't say I'm lactose intolerant, but I'm just lactose adverse. The gas that happens around the house when I have anything with dairy in it. I mean, I can eat cheese, but if I drink milk or have ice cream, man, I've got bubble gut for about a day and a half.
So funny story about ice cream. This year, November 11th, I'll be married to my wife for 16 years.
Right.
Her family, when we all lived in like Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Parents Atlanta, I mean, literally every birthday we got together, and my mother-in-law demands cake and ice cream. Okay, you get to pick whatever cake you want. It's your birthday, and then there's ice cream.
Right.
So she would start putting it all together. Travis, you want ice cream with your cake? No, I don't want ice cream with my cake. And for 10 years, at least 6 to 7 times a year, I had to explain, hey, I'm just not a big ice cream eater. I explained this no less than 75 times before she just stopped asking me if I wanted ice cream.
That's funny.
Like she couldn't fathom not having ice cream with a birthday cake.
You didn't understand that. I mean, in some circles, that's considered communist, especially if you got some peach cobbler. Supposed to drop a little dollop of vanilla ice cream on top of that.
I get that, but a birthday cake's a little different. But so, hey, one last story. I'm going to share my screen for just a second.
All right.
Because it cuts my mic off. But I've had multiple people send this to me, obviously because it's near and dear to my heart. But we've talked about this kind of stuff repeatedly. and it's from Yahoo News.
Oh,
So female high school volleyball athlete suffers serious head injury after transgender player spikes abnormally. So, my daughter has played volleyball for a while. We travel across the Southeast, obviously with school across the state of Florida, do all this. And at the last regional tournament we went to in April of 22 in Mobile, they had a boys court. And boys, they do the ages a little bit differently because there's not as many teams. So I have them grouped like 13, 14, 15, 16. Whereas for girls, it's like just 15U, 16U, that, it's a little, because there's a lot more teams.
right.
And so my daughter was playing 15U, and I walk over to the 15, 16 boys, and it's a completely different game. It's played at a different speed, played at a different height. I mean, like the intensity. And, I'm standing there and I'm thinking, there's no way I would let my daughter ever play on that against one of those guys.
Right.
It's not, men are built differently. Men jump higher, men hit harder, muscular, just all these different things. And yet we've got our girls, and that was in North Carolina, by the way, not something, wasn't in New York City.
Right.
And we've got, and more than the school or anything, I blame the parents. Why is your daughter on that court?
Yeah.
I don't care what the repercussions are, how mad she gets at me. We walk up and there's some dude that's claiming to be not a dude, and he's trying to play volleyball. No, we're leaving. And I don't care what the backlash is. I don't care how much people hate me. I don't care if I don't get invited to brunch or you call me a name. I'm not putting my daughter in that kind of situation.
Gotcha.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. I ain't mad at you.
We haven't seen it on the softball field yet, so hopefully that doesn't happen.
So
I think
All right.
you said that, Dan, I think about the guys that I used to play softball with. Just a bunch of old redneck guys with some big league chew or some red man hanging out the back coaching them old 80s coaches shorts. Everybody used to wear those on the softball field.
Well, that's the old the beer league.
Yeah.
It's a little different when you talk about high school kids.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
sure.
Fast pitch.
I hope so. Anyway, I'm talking about slow pitch. When I think about a dude,
Yeah.
said that was the image that came to mind.
So we talked about at the last cast that the CDC had approved adding the vaccines to the child and adolescent immunization schedule. Well, they did. We recorded on Wednesday, and they actually voted on Thursday, and they voted unanimously to attach that and add that to the schedule. So there's 19 states that follow verbatim what the CDC calls for. And we talked about Florida does not. DeSantis actually passed, well, DeSantis didn't pass it, but our state legislator and DeSantis signed a law stating that you can't force, there's no mandatory vaccines.
Right.
Now there's another situation where there's a group of lawyers, and the group is called the Informed Consent Action Network. So it's ICANN is the acronym. And they have pledged to finance up to 50 lawsuits for any family whose child is forced to take the COVID vaccine to go to school. And basically they're going to have legal representation free of charge. And it's going to be paid for by this group.
Good deal.
Yeah. They're fighting back. So which is a good thing. It's what you need.
And these people, all of them said they have no conflict of interest, which I thought was hilarious. That's what they said they had to. But they voted this way when John of American Medical Association, I don't know, but had a study that said under 12, up to 1 in 300 children had a serious adverse event after getting COVID shots. And that was just the Pfizer. That was inclusive of Moderna. It was like 700-800 children that they followed, plus the study that Joseph Ladopos, cited recently about 18 to 29-year-old men having cardiac issues. I mean, at this point, my question about outlawing these 3 vaccines in the state of Florida, hell, that's as much public safety as anything.
Absolutely. And if they would have followed the actual procedure to get a vaccine to market, none of these vaccines would have made it, period.
No. Moderna has only produced 10 products in the history of its company. 9 of them never even made it to human trials. Only 1 did.
And guess who has COVID?
The CEO of Moderna?
Nope. The head of the CDC,
Oh,
Dr. Rochelle Walensky, announced that she has COVID.
I thought we saw
You can't make this shit up.
these montages about how that wasn't possible, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That wasn't supposed to be possible at all.
So changing the subject, DeSantis got another win. So for the second time, a federal judge refused to block the, quote, "Don't Say Gay" bill, the parental rights and education bill. So I want to read to you guys what the judge was, Wendy Berger's response. And it was a lawsuit in Orange County. And I want to read to you because this is pretty on point what the judge said. Said the plaintiffs have not pointed this court to any policy or procedure from Orange County that they allege has resulted in an increase in bullying that the school board might experience or that a child might experience at school. While the court is sympathetic to the cousin's fear that their child may be bullied, it's simply the fact of life that many middle school students will face the criticism and harsh judgment of their peers. SC is not alone in this regard. Indeed, middle school children bully and belittle their classmates for a whole host of reasons, all of which are unacceptable and many of which have nothing to do with the classmate's gender identity. So SC is the initials of, I guess, the child.
Right.
And cousins is their last name. To kind of make that quote. I thought that was pretty a rational response from a judge. It was what we've all been saying. You get your ass kicked in school for a whole host of reasons. And if you're dressing up like a girl, that just adds to the list.
Well, I mean,
it happens.
People are going to get bullied. I mean, regardless. I mean, you wear a certain style of shoe or you wear a certain style of pants that doesn't fit in. I mean, it's the most peer pressure that you can experience about just assimilation or kids just trying to disappear from one another happens in middle school. I mean, that's exactly right. Dude, I grew up redheaded, so I got bullied all the time. Based on the current definition of bully, I got made fun of a lot. Let me say that. I never considered that bullying. I considered bullying.
That bill has nothing to do with children. Right. Dealing with each other. It's about grown-ups not talking to 5 to 8-year-olds about sex.
Yes.
Gender. So it has nothing to do with middle school.
No, you would think. They're trying to find any legal loophole they can to make
they brought this case in front of her based on this middle school student. So you're right, it doesn't apply to the actual law. So maybe it would have made more sense for the judge to throw it out and say, this has nothing to do with the law. Have a nice day.
Right.
But instead, I thought she did a good job of addressing their particular issue in a way that I think most normal people would respond to it.
Well, I also think what she did was she hit at the merits. So there's no, even on appeal, right? Whereas if you say, hey, this has nothing to do with the law, they just go find a 6-year-old and bring the same lawsuit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's really kind of where that's going. But that bill has nothing to do with middle school.
Correct.
Just again, going back to the volleyball story, why are some people so hell-bent on pushing this agenda? And what, like, our Evergreen cast, when it comes out here, I guess tomorrow, and we talk about the evil of this world, like, what there's some serious, nasty, evil, demonic, whatever biblical term you want to throw out, going on out there right now.
Well, every time there's something like this that comes up on Twitter, my hashtag is #demonic cult, because that's what it is.
Oh, I agree completely. There's all, I mean, the people that are so upset about this parental rights and education bill, I've yet to see a single person come up with a valid talking point as to why it is so bad as they say it is. And
well,
again,
they had to change the narrative on it because they couldn't come up with a valid talking point.
Right.
Well, and that's it, man. It's bob and weave for them to try to attempt to get their agenda across, and they'll take any effort, any tunnel, any bridge, any overpass, or whatever avenue in which to get it. Even if it doesn't necessarily make sense, if they think they can find a legal inroad to get to their destination, they're going to take it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's lawfare. That's all it is. It's not.
Yep.
Instead of political fight, it's just lawfare. That's all it is.
Yep.
And our side has to get better at it.
No doubt.
True.
Dan, what was it Bongino says about it? It's not about winning or losing. It's when somebody brings a lawsuit, like the left, when they use this lawfare, that is the point, or something like that.
Yeah, the process is the punishment.
Right, the process is the punishment. Yeah.
And that's what happened during the whole, all the people who were on Trump's, whether they were on his campaign or they were in his administration, that whole taking them to court with whatever they could possibly find was 100% that, because it changed the political narrative, the public narrative, the talking points, which gave and these people still use those things to date. They're like I've seen so many memes where it's like Joe Biden's no scandals, no this, no that, 0 for 2 because the two, and I don't know how you can associate a Russian guy to a Biden administration, but the two, Sussman and Dinchenko, who got acquitted, they associate that to the Biden administration. So they roll through. It's like Trump with, 7 convictions, blah, blah, blah. They still associate those things for people who are anti-Trump. That's just a big talking point in the narrative that resides today. I mean, think about how long ago that was. It's 6 years ago. And it's still a hot button talking point today.
Right.
So speaking of hot button talking points, they've been desperately trying to find something on DeSantis, and I fear they have found something.
Uh-oh.
A scandalous thing that I don't know if Heavy D will ever be able to recover from. So listen to this.
Wait. Should we just use that as a teaser for our live cast on Tuesday?
No, it's just a quick hit. It's not going to be a long.
All right.
I'll have plenty of slides for Tuesday.
Okay.
So here's the quote. According to a friend, DeSantis would tell dates that he liked Thai food but pronounced it thigh. And if they corrected him, he would find an excuse to leave. He didn't want a girlfriend who corrected him.
Oh, man.
They got him.
Oh,
DeSantis,
my God.
they got him. It's a horrible scandal. They've been digging, and this is the worst they found.
That's scandalous, man. I tell you what, I don't know. I may have to may look a little harder at Charlie Crist now, I guess. Yeah.
Right. I guess since this is just for the Patreon folks, I can make what I mean. I love getting down eating between two thighs. Maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe. Marcel, this will be out for public consumption.
Well.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not like we haven't said anything close to as bad as that.
Right.
Yeah. Look, if that's what takes me down, so be it.
Fair enough.
I gotta be canceled for admitting that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, we've got a lot of exciting things going on this week, gang, and we hope that you will join us for each and every one of them. We're running out of time for our first look this week, but we're glad you tuned in. We're so thankful to you as Patreon subscribers. Help us get the word out, man. We're wanting to kick this thing right in the butt and get it running really good. So for Travis,
You gotta like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, that'll be. We'll have that graphic on this
Hit the bell. There.
It'll be down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The notification bell. Hey,
Yeah. Make sure you click that bell and subscribe. That
not Wednesday.
Notices when we go live. Go ahead.
Not Wednesday. Tuesday, 7:30 Central, 5:30 Pacific.
Right.
8:30.
Yeah, there you go, Dave.
8:30 Eastern. Yeah. So, hey, guys, for Travis and Dan, I am your Uncle Wes, and we will see you next time on the Driveway Liberty Podcast.
Go Dolphins.
For fuck's sake.
You